How come so much time was being expended? Could this have been handled any better?
If you look at, we know what response time is. Because our belief is that if there's an emergency and a distress call is sent to the fire service and we don't arrive there on time, the work that we'll finally do when we are late to the scene will be much more than what we ordinarily have done. So we don't ever joke with response time because we know in the sight of the public, a minute late in the sight of the public is like 2 hours, 3 hours. So we don't ever joke with response time. But if you look at what happened here today, a lot of people have been singing praises, praising His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, for being proactive for the purchase of all this heavy duty equipment, and it has effectively worked here. So we have done very well here in line with what the public said about the operations here today.
We need to understand that while we are driving on the road, we are not only the road user. We must ensure we abide by all safety measures and precautions. All precautionary measures such as, ensuring that our car is actually fit to move, to ply most of these roads. We ensure that we have our mirrors are in place. We ensure that we check our engines are in good condition. And we ensure that at every point in time, especially for those of us driving articulated vehicle, to actually travel and move within the speed limit between 60 to 80 kilometers per hour, perhaps 60 kilometers per hour for vehicles that are articulated vehicles conveying very hazardous and highly inflammable materials. For example, if we look at critically what happened today, from most of the preliminary assessment and investigation we did, the tanker was actually moving at a very high speed and then applied brake abruptly, collided with another articulated vehicle, and of course that resulted to this fire, causing wanton destructions of properties and lives. These are things that are quite, avoidable. So we want to plead with the road users, those who are driving, to ensure that at every point in time they are in the right state of health. If they are tired, if fatigue sets in, there is no strict law that says that you must drive on the road. You could take a break and have a small nap. And also, if you are drunk, then don't drive. You don't have any business driving. And then at all times, we must ensure that we put our vehicles in a state of readiness and fitness.
The road was eventually opened to traffic at 3:45 p.m., almost 14 hours after the accident occurred. While we may have left that day's experience in the past, the ongoing maintenance work around the long bridge is another project that must be expedited, considering the ever-busy nature and economic importance of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
I'm very happy with your hold up. I'm making money.
Aba-Port Harcourt Road is one of the worst roads in the southeast. A commercial nerve center completely abandoned. Well, there's good news for the people, and we intend to stay on that road for updates.
Residents of Aba in Abia State, especially those living along Aba-Ikot-Ekpene and Port Harcourt Road, are still groaning over the effect of the debilitated road in and around the area. For about 15 years, residents say the bad road has hampered socio-economic activities in the state. The roads have also affected movements between Abia State and Akwa Ibom, Cross River and other South-South states. For instance, this road links River State in less than 45 minutes, but it's now a death trap with potholes and flooding. The situation is not different in Aba-Ikot-Ekpene, where the deplorable road infrastructure after a area market has become a menace. The people of the area are calling on the state government to help.
You can't even cross here. If there is too much rain, person cannot even cross. No vehicle can cross, even legs find it difficult to cross.
The state government is certainly not turning deaf ears to the situation. They say although the road is a federal government road which requires a huge fund to repair, it is making efforts to alleviate the suffering of the people. The state government says it has created a temporary road diversion through the hinterland and promised that when the rainy season is over, it will commence palliative rehabilitation measures.
The issue of Port Harcourt Road and Ekotobeni Road, even as we speak, the roads, you can't pass them. They are terribly bad. It's only in Abia that we have roads that are known to be federal roads. Port Harcourt Road and Ekotobeni Road are all federal roads. The Abia State government, the governor, has one time visited the Minister for Works. The governor visited with his Commissioner for Works. That's part of our own part of the deal to see how we can fix those roads.
And now, here is what the minister has to say.
Port Harcourt-Aba Road. As I told you earlier, we got budget signed in May. Warrants were issued, I think, in June. That's when we now started processing payments. Because when you hear also that money has been released, there's a process to payment. Crediting the ministry is just the beginning of the paperwork. So, Port Harcourt-Aba Road, we couldn't mobilize to site until Monday, 31st of October, just recently, because of the high water table in that area. So that's one of the problems we did.
With the promise of the Honorable Minister, Aba people eagerly await the completion of this road, which no doubt would restore the lost glory of the city.